Wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's Reddit Rose report. Hey, don't know whether you've seen it or not, a new Bud Light commercial. The old Iron Sheik makes a brief cameo in the thing, but he's sitting at a little table eating some kind of a nasty looking sandwich. But don't know whether he had a Bud Light beer there or not, didn't see it. He's a gas. Anyway, GOLDUST tweeted the following this morning about not facing Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 30. He said, "I repeat, I will not be fighting my brother at Mania. Time has passed. Think what you want. Wouldn't get the spotlight it deserves." Well, since he told us he's not wrestling his brother, he is. Regarding Chris Jericho's future, there was some talk in late 2013 about bringing him back for a few months of 2014, but apparently the issue that kept it from happening had to do with a creative instead of financials. So I guess we won't see him for a while. Steve Austin noted on his latest Unleashed podcast that he recorded interviews with Zeb Colter, Big Show, William Regal, John Cena, while at Raw earlier in Los Angeles. Noted, word in WWE that, believe it or not, Mr. T has agreed to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. No word yet if WWE still plans on inducting the whole participants in the main event match at WrestleMania 1 yet. Another source has confirmed that Cyndi Lauper's name has been discussed too. So I would think, if you're going to do Mr. T, he's going to be the celebrity inductee, I guess. They usually always have one, and they have a diva, and then maybe a tag team, and other independents. Maybe a promoter. After about a week where CM Punk, the chants and talk has kind of died down some, people in WWE are kind of looking ahead to March 3rd Raw from Chicago. They're going to have some rowdy people there, and there's going to be a lot of concern about how the show is going to be playing out. Well, anyway, with Undertaker and Hogan scheduled to return February 24th at Raw, they could be brought into Chicago on Raw to kind of counter the CM Punk chants. Good work. And there's kind of remains mixed feelings within the company regarding Punk's status. Virtually nobody agrees with him when it comes to walking out 30 minutes before a live TV shoot. Many have, maybe Ultimate Warrior or somebody, but he just done that, or threatened to. And many have sympathy for some of his concerns, but they argue that Punk was legitimately the #2 guy in the company for a while. And on a related note, it's acknowledged that Punk was very popular, but the belief is that he's not a ticket seller to live events, only an occasional, he makes the difference. He's a difference maker in a pay-per-view business. And at the same time, Punk was #2 in merchandise sales. But yeah, I believe if he's on a pay-per-view, or if he's not on a pay-per-view, or at a live event, I think they're going to sell the same amount of tickets. My opinion. Probably ain't his. All right. Batista is going to start wrestling live events matches this coming weekend. He had been tagging, I think, with other people, either a three-way tag or whatever. But regarding name changes for Big E Langston, he's now going to be called Big E. And to Antonio, I told you yesterday, is just going to be called Cesaro. That's a Vince McMahon decision. It's going to be easier for the announcers to talk about people instead of saying everybody's whole name. Less like Batista, he's going to be referred to as Ba. All right. Anyway, Shane McMahon currently owns about 1.5 million shares of WWE stock worth about $35 million. And after selling a lot of her stock last year, Stephanie McMahon owns about 661,000 shares worth about $14 million. Pittance. Both Layla and Richie Steamboat, believe it or not, they're still under contract with WWE, and there were reports that Richie had been cut, but he's still out with a back injury that could be career-ending, though. And it's some speculation that Layla is out due to medical reasons, or some kind of an injury, but the Wrestling Observer reports that she's dealing with some personal issues. A lot of times when they say that, it's something to do with drugs. Could be family. All right, regarding Sting not signing a deal with WWE yet, it's one more, well, this is a little bit of inside info, just to let you know what's going on here. It's more because WWE just dragging their feet. And it's noted that WWE officials are in no hurry to get Sting signed for WrestleMania 30. But the word is that Sting himself was hoping for a match against Undertaker at this year's event. Here's the inside. Since Sting lives in Dallas area, I thought he lived in Florida, but since he lives in Dallas area, he is willing to meet up with Undertaker and work out a match in private at Undertaker's gym over and over to get it right, which is what Undertaker opponents have done in the past several years. That's one reason, I guess, the Michaels, of course, he lives down around Texas, why that went over so good. And one of the reasons the matches have gone so well is because other people went down and worked out things with him. Anyway, there's concern that Brock Lesnar, who is in it because he wants to make big money for a limited amount of work and only has a certain amount of dates on his contract, may not be willing to spend extra several days with Undertaker to get the entire match worked out. He may just not have no time. He's so busy doing Sable. Anyway, Jake Roberts, he noted on Twitter that he's, of course, been announced for WWE Hall of Fame inductor. The inductor is going to be announced soon, and Jake said it would be obvious to be the inductor would be leading fans' speculation that Diamond Dallas Page is going to be doing the honors. But in regards to wrestling another match for WWE, Jake says, never say never, but nothing is planned for now. And when, of course, he'd probably do a run-in or something. When the WWE Network officially launches February 24th at 11:05 Eastern Standard Time, p.m., it's going to be kicking off with a live Raw post-show. And as noted, fans can begin signing up and viewing the network contents 11 a.m. that morning. I don't understand what that just said because, I guess the morning of Raw. So that you sign up at 11 in the morning, then you'll be able to pick it up 9 in the morning, then you'll be able to pick it up tonight, that night after Raw goes off. Sounds like it. Anyway, as noted, WWE launched their first podcast earlier this week with Renee Young interviewing Shawn Michaels about WrestleMania. Anyway, officials are looking at doing more podcasts with the success of Steve Austin and Jericho projects that they've been doing. And company also are looking at doing touring talk shows in comedy clubs after the success of Mick Foley's had. I don't know whether Mick Foley's had success or not, or whether he's just got a good booker. I haven't seen anything much funny come out of his mouth. Not lately. He's got a funny mouth, but, well, it appears that Tensai is maybe done as a wrestler with WWE. For the time being, at least, and he's being groomed for an announcer job. And besides working on NXT commentary lately, Tensai has been involved in all Raw and SmackDown pre-shows and post-shows, trial runs, giving him trial runs that WWE has been doing for the network recently, which we haven't seen yet. Ric Flair has signed a new contract with WWE. I'm glad of that. He always is kind of a highlight. All of his appearances and business deals has to be cleared now by WWE from now here on out. Flair can be booked outside of WWE, but every deal, there's a clause if WWE calls and needs him for anything, he has to cancel the other bookings. I would say soon they should be doing that with JR. Hopefully. All right, wrestling legend, let's do a little update on Bobby Eaton and his health. He's made a significant turn for the better. He's lost a lot of weight and is the healthiest he's been in a long time. Eaton has a pacemaker in his heart, so it's unlikely he's going to be able to wrestle again due to that. I don't know how they say he's the healthiest he's ever been with a pacemaker. All right, Cody Rhodes reported that he has some MCL damage. Just ate there the other night. That's not bad. Anyway, he has some damage on his right knee, possibly from a steel cage moonsault a couple of weeks ago, and also RYBACK may have hurt his hand in a tag match on this past Monday's Raw, which that's just terrible. I guess he cried and cried and cried. You hurt your hand and it hurts. WWE's live event March 16th at American Airlines Center, Dallas, Texas, is going to be facing a potential attendance problem. At the same building that night, UFC 171 will be taking place. That event is almost sold out with 14,000 paid, with a 2.2 million first weekend advance money on that. Ooh. Here's a little trivia, by the way. Very little. In 2006, hell had froze over. If you remember that. WWE shocked many fans by announcing during an edition of Raw that Bret the Hitman Hart would be inducted into WWE Hall of Fame during WrestleMania weekend. And then we, of course, had the hug and kiss and whatever of he and Shawn Michaels, which is, it just warmed my heart and everything else. I got hot, too. Hey, thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.